Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving deep into why the Philippine government has no intention of reconsidering the failed acquisition of Russian MiLMI 171 HIP transport helicopters. Contrary to recent claims made by some defense pages, there is no interest from the Department of National Defense or the Philippine Air Force in reviving this project. Stick around as we explore the reasons behind this decision and what alternative options the Philippines is looking at. To understand why the Philippines initially pursued the MiLMI 171s, we need to go back to the administration of former President Rodrigo Duterte. This project was largely politically motivated, serving as a goodwill gesture from the Philippines to Russian President Vladimir Putin. The deal involved acquiring 16 plus 1 MiLMI 171 HIP helicopters for the Philippine Air Force's heavy lift helicopter acquisition project. However, this acquisition was met with serious challenges. The biggest obstacle came in the form of the United States countering America's adversaries through Sanctions Act, or CAATSA, which effectively blocked the deal. Had the Philippines proceeded with the purchase, it would have faced economic and military disadvantages due to U.S.-imposed sanctions. Following the cancellation of the project, the Philippine government was left with another problem. Russia has yet to return the 1.919 billion pesos that was paid as an initial deposit for the helicopters. To this day, there is no clear resolution on when or if this money will be reimbursed. After the cancellation, the U.S. government stepped in with an alternative offer. The United States proposed shifting the to either Boeing CH-47F Chinook heavy lift helicopters or additional Sikorsky S-70I Black Hawk combat utility helicopters. The deal was further sweetened with an offer of foreign military financing, FMF, worth $100 million, which would help offset costs for the Philippine government. However, with the change in leadership in the United States, the status of the $100 million FMF offer is currently unclear. The U.S. Department of Defense, under new leadership from Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth and U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, will need to reassess and confirm whether this financial assistance still stands. Another significant factor in the decision to abandon the Russian helicopter deal is the shifting geopolitical landscape. The current Philippine administration, under President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., has taken a strong stance in aligning with countries that support the Philippines in the West Philippine Sea dispute. Russia, however, does not appear on the list of allied nations, as emphasized by Defense Secretary Gilberto Teodoro. This shift in foreign policy makes it highly unlikely that the Philippines would rekindle defense deals with Russia under the current administration. As of now, the Philippine Air Force and the Department of National Defense have prioritized other military acquisitions over heavy lift helicopters. The focus has shifted to bolstering our aerial capabilities through additional A-29B Super Tucanos and FA-50 Fighting Eagles. These aircraft provide a crucial advantage in counterinsurgency and close air support missions, aligning with the PAF's immediate defense requirements, particularly in the context of territorial defense in the West Philippine Sea. This shift in priority also reflects the Philippines' growing emphasis on strategic alignment. Unlike Russia, the United States and other allied nations share our stance in the South China Sea dispute, supporting the Philippines in maintaining its territorial integrity. The DND has made it clear that future military acquisitions will only be made with nations that support our national security interests. With President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. now at the helm, the government is no longer obligated to engage in goodwill projects with Russia. Under his leadership, the The priority has been modernizing the military in alignment with allies that share the country's strategic objectives. This new direction further diminishes any possibility of reconsidering the MIL-ME 171 acquisition. So, let's summarize why the Philippines is no longer interested in acquiring Russian MIL-ME 171 helicopters. The deal was politically motivated under the previous administration and is no longer necessary under the current government. U.S.-imposed CAATSA sanctions on Russia make such an acquisition highly problematic. Russia has not returned the 1.919 billion pesos deposit, raising concerns over financial reliability. The U.S. has provided an alternative offer, potentially including $100 million in foreign military financing, FMF, for American helicopters. The current administration prioritizes acquiring more A-29B Super Tucano light attack aircraft and additional Black Hawk helicopters over heavy-lift helicopters. The Philippines' strategic realignment under President Marcos Jr. focuses on working with allies that support the country's territorial integrity, excluding Russia from future military procurement considerations. With all these factors in play, it's clear that the MIL-ME 171 project is a thing of the past. The Philippine Air Force and Department of National Defense have their eyes set on more strategic partnerships, particularly with the United States, as they work towards modernizing the country's airlift capabilities. What do you think of the DND's decision to move away from the Russian MIL-ME 171? Should the Philippines continue negotiating for the return of its deposit or focus on new acquisitions with strategic partners? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this analysis, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on the latest in Philippine defense and military modernization. See you in the next video.